So, on its face, the amendment violates House Rule 16, Clause 7. Now, you can disagree with me, but you're not the chairman anymore. I'm sitting in the chair now.
Sparks flew in Congress this week. Here's the lowdown on the heated Johnson-Nadler clash. It was a battle of words when Rep. Mike Johnson blocked Rep. Jerry Nadler's amendment.
Mr. Chairman, there are 13 ayes and 9 noes.
The motion to table.
Mr. Chairman.
It passes. Yes, who seeks recognition?
I seek to strike the last, move to strike the last word.
The ranking member is recognized.
Mr. Chairman, in this last amendment by Ms. Scanlon that was just ruled out of order, you ruled it out of order because it references a specific date. In my parliamentary universe, adding a specific date is considered a limiting amendment. It limits the scope of the underlying amendment. It does not expand it. Therefore, it cannot be a grounds for holding an amendment out of order because it limits it. It doesn't expand it. It's called in parliamentary terms a limiting amendment, which is always permitted. So this is just another example of the Republicans using obviously specious reasoning because you're afraid to vote on anything to do with January 6th. You're afraid to vote on all the things we talked about before because your constituents might hold you responsible. So I would ask you why this is not a limiting amendment. Why this, in what way this expands the scope of the amendment, and I'll yield to you for the purpose.
I'll be happy to answer. We will belabor the point further. I've already explained this, that by presenting this amendment, it changes the purpose of the bill and makes it about January 6th. On its face, by your explanations, by all the comments that have been made, you want this to be about January 6th. You just said it again. You emphasize the same point. That's not what the underlying legislation is about.
You're claiming my time.
You asked me to respond, and I'm giving you the response. Okay, so on its face, the amendment violates House Rule 16, Clause 7. Now, you can disagree with me, but you're not the chairman anymore. I'm sitting in the chair now.
Reclaiming my time. I certainly do disagree with you. And again, I repeat that the motives of the Republicans today are shameful as seeking only to avoid voting on all these different subjects that have been raised today. I yield back.
Would the gentleman yield?
Would the gentleman yield? The gentleman has yielded back. Does anyone else seek recognition? Ms. Cicilline, and then I'll get to you, Ms. Johnson.
I have an amendment, so I think Mr. Johnson wants to speak with respect to this, so I'm happy to defer to him.
Gentleman's recognized.
Thank you. The blatant hypocrisy on display.
Johnson defended his stance, maintaining the majority's right to interpret rules. In the end, the Republican majority upheld Johnson's rulings, showcasing deep partisan divides on law enforcement and accountability. Stay tuned for more political showdowns.